Assalamu alaikum. Honorable heads of states, heads of delegations, excellencies, and distinguished guests. It is with humility that Salim and I jointly accept this distinguished and singular honor of receiving the 4th Hideyo Noguchi Africa Prize. We do so on behalf of a large team of research staff at CAPRISA, just over 300 people that we lead, our partners and collaborators across the world, our research funders, and most importantly, the thousands of people who have volunteered to participate in our research in South Africa. We take this opportunity to thank our family and mentors who have guided and supported us over several decades. COVID-19 has reminded us as a global community of our interconnectedness, shared responsibilities, and shared vulnerability. We are all dependent on each other. The pandemic has reminded us of the importance of science and investments in science for the betterment of humanity. As we grappled with the COVID-19 response, scientific research and development gave us vaccines that brought us much needed hope when there was such turmoil, fear, and anxiety. We have seen in Africa how past research investments in HIV, TB, malaria, and Ebola built critical clinical and laboratory capabilities that enabled us to pivot more rapidly to respond to COVID-19. But we have also learned, yet again, that we need to invest in science and innovation on our continent so that we in Africa do not have to join the back of the queue as we had to for COVID-19 vaccines and treatment. Scientific capacity building is a time-consuming process and requires building research institutions with a long-term perspective. For it is these institutions that provide the scientific discoveries which are an important first step to new technologies as well as evidence-based policy and programs. But transitioning research discoveries into products is the hurdle we continue to work on overcoming so that those who are most in need will reap the benefits of scientific solutions. For it is only when our research changes the lives of the most vulnerable for the better that we know that our research is having an impact. Science offers us one more opportunity to unleash the full potential of Africa for a better future for all.
It was 33 years ago that we made the important observation that defined much of what we have done in our research. That is that young women bear the brunt of the HIV epidemic in Africa. Young women had about 4 times more infection than their male counterparts, and this set us on a path to develop and test new technologies to reduce the risk of HIV in young women. After 18 years of failure after failure, we, the Abdul Karims, became known as experts in failure. But there is no quick success in science. In the same way that the great Nelson Mandela said that it is a long walk to freedom, we have found that it is also a long walk over many years of research to achieve impactful scientific breakthroughs that change the lives of people. But it is through each failure and the occasional advance that we walk one step closer to success. But it took just one success when in 2010, Croatia and I received a standing ovation at the International AIDS Conference in Vienna that we had shown that topical tenofovir reduced the risk of HIV in women. Finally, an HIV technology that empowered women, that they could use and control to protect themselves. It served as the foundation for a new way of preventing HIV and its sexual transmission, known as pre-exposure prophylaxis, or PrEP for short. But this was just the start for us. We have worked tirelessly, making several more discoveries and failures that have been helping us and others move closer to an improved form of PrEP that we think can change the course of the epidemic in Africa. So, excellence in science is alive and well in Africa. I'm particularly honored that I'm here today in the midst of Minister of Foreign Affairs of South Africa, who was our Minister of Science and Technology that enabled us to do much of the research we have done. In closing, I would like to acknowledge and thank the Japanese government, the African Union, the African CDC, the South African government, and many African governments across our continent for all the good work that they have done to build science on our beloved continent. May this Hideyo Noguchi Africa Prize inspire our youth to pursue careers in science to improve the lives of people in Africa and globally. Thank you.